tall enough to play the guitar. Is this good? You know, I always wanted to go to space college, but I don't think I'd fit in. I don't play the drums either. I do the, but I've been wondering, like, what am I going to say about that? Well, hi, everybody. Let's give Eldon and the E&M Club a hand for hosting this tonight. And everybody, that was wonderful. Okay, stop. No, just kidding. No, this is super cool. Voice cracks. I mentioned that if you were here last time. I'm 12 years old, so it's fun. It's actually it's pretty fun. I'm a teacher as well, and that's cool because you get to hear kids say wild things. Even if I'm not like Mckay, I don't teach in a school with only autistic students. Like, this is just public ed, you know, and I don't know, maybe it's the fluoride in the water. They're just mean. Like, I had one kid, and he's like, my mom could totally beat up Cameron's mom because she's huge. And I'm all right, dude. That's great. I didn't know you were going to slam your mom like that in front of everybody. Yeah, that was fun. But no, so my voice, right, cracking all the time. Like, this happens at school. I got halfway through puberty. My body's like, you're done. I'm like, okay, sweet. That's fine. And so my kids, they, you know, I tried to make fun of myself to be like, I do this, you know, it's funny. And I'm like, no, they can't make fun of me. But they took it and were like, okay, yeah, we're going to double down on that and bully you for the rest of the year. So we have a voice crack counter on my whiteboard. Every time I've got a couple kids like, that was like 3. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, and so I tally them up there. And kids are like, oh, what are we going to do when we get to 100? You should buy us donuts when we get to 100. I'm like, how about you pay for my testosterone supplements when we get to 100? So I can finish puberty. How's that? That's fair. So, yeah, it's been a fun year for me. I also have another big year milestone. My son just recently turned 1. Thank you. Yeah, we should have the party for us. We kept him alive, you know. I changed like 4 whole diapers. So, but it's funny. People text me. They're like, hey, tell Noah happy birthday. I'm like, I'll tell him next year when he knows what that means. I won't forget. Don't worry. But he's fun. So he has started learning to do a bunch of stuff, walking around, saying uh-oh, baby stuff. He's kind of pointing, right? But his hands don't work because he's a baby, right? So he just kind of points with his whole hand, like outstretched like this. And some of you, like, when he points up, sometimes he hits an angle that's a little German. People sometimes see that, give me a weird look. I just say, he does it well, yeah. But it's not like he's doing it on purpose, you know. He is blonde, but he's got brown eyes, so we're good. Yeah. Well, a couple years ago, I tore my ACL. That wasn't fun. People always ask me, like, were you skiing? Like, what was it? And it was a dart throwing incident. I was playing darts with a buddy of mine, and I hit this bullseye, not because I'm good at darts, but because God likes to build you up before he breaks you down. So I hit this bullseye, and I go for like the full body thrust. I was like, oh yeah, and my knee was like, all right, see ya. I was just like, okay, didn't know we were retiring. But the best part was I was walking around. I had this solo like wooden crutch that I was using to get around, and people kind of made fun of me, but it's actually a hand-me-down from my 5 greats grandfather, Tiny Tim. You know, God bless us, everyone. We owe the Scrooges a ton of money. It's kind of bad. But no, ACL, it was not fun. So the day that I did it, I was actually, my wife and I, we were at a friend's cabin, and it just snowed all night on us. And so the next morning, we're trying to leave. I can't drive. We get in this car, and my wife's driving. We immediately get stuck. Not because she's a woman, you sexists. It's because it's a Subaru with like that much clearance and like 8 feet of snow, so we're not going anywhere. Then my buddy, he's like, you know what? Let's use the winch and we'll get the car out. And I'm like, quit calling my wife a wench. What is going on? Like, not cool, dude. All these, gosh. And so I hit him. And then my wife's like, you know what? While he's gone, I'm gonna dig us out. And you know what? I let her because I'm a true feminist and she can do whatever she wants. Okay? She's strong. So I sat in the passenger seat like a man and took videos to send to her parents. Were not happy to see me the next time I saw them. It was fun. But yeah, so everybody tells you, they're like, hey, don't give up on what you love, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard because I don't know how many times I've been injured after giving up. Feels good. Feels good. I tell my students that every day. I'm like, guys, just don't do it. Just give up. All right. Not anything crazy. They're good. But my wife and I, actually, she is awesome. She and I used to cater weddings together, and that was a really great way to see that our marriage is going a lot better than other people's. Like, from the get-go, it's really, yeah. I was like, babe, like, I don't call her babe, but I'm like, babe, we're doing good. But that was our first fight, was when I called her babe. No, just kidding. But, like, one wedding we went to, the couple, they didn't interact during the entire, like, reception. It was weird. Like she was taking photos with his family, and he was, like, cutting the cake by himself. Like, one of the groomsmen did the garter belt thing. That was weird. I didn't think that was allowed. So it was uncomfortable for everybody, except him, I guess. But sorry, family friendly. So we got to reset. All right. Okay. But no, but it is funny, like, when you're catering, how like, people are comfortable with you, like, people at the event, and it's like they give you so much ammo against their own families. Like, this woman comes up, she's like, just gotta let you know, my daughter is a total bridezilla. It's awful, bridezilla. I'm like, you didn't have to tell me that, but now you better tip 20%, or she's gonna find out how you feel about her on her special day. You know, you might be thinking, Mckay, would you really risk potentially destroying a relationship for an extra 5%? I would, and I have. Like, that's the great thing about blackmail. It works every time. It's awesome. Yeah, anyway, so I'm, like, prepped for Bridezilla, and then the bride, she actually came out and did one of those surprise, like, dances for the groom, but she was in a lizard costume. So I guess Mom was just letting us know, which was cool. I felt bad. She did tip 20, though, so that was cool. Some people really don't want to get married at their weddings. Like this one guy, he walked down the aisle to AC/DC's Hell's Bells. So if that's any indication of how he feels about wedding bells, I think that was very, like, Saturdays are for the boys, babe. I'm doing what I want when I want. And I wonder still if they made it. I don't know. But other people really want to get married, and it's kind of weird. This one couple, they had every love letter they'd ever written each other just up on display for the public to read, which I guess is a fun way to let everybody know your pet names for each other are Bunny and Carrot. Yeah, that's gross. It's bad. But the weirdest part was they had letters up there with them arguing with each other. And I'm like, okay, why do you still have those? And two, like, why are you arguing over handwritten correspondence? Are you using carrier pigeons? What? My dearest buddy, it behooveth me forthwith. Thou shalt. Anyway. But three, I don't know why Carrot thought it was a good idea to date other people when Bunny knew they were meant for each other. It was ridiculous. She burned him. She was like, I don't think you care at all. And yeah, that was a real line. No. That's why they're getting married, is because of that letter. It was cool. We talked to them, and they went all in, though, on this theme. Like, they had a carrot cake, which I guess is better than a bunny cake. So that was good. Wouldn't be fun. But theme weddings, I have to put my foot down on the theme wedding. See, that wasn't very loud. I'm not big. Did you hear that in the back? Theme weddings, no, the weirdest, maybe the most interesting one we did, it was up in Idaho, so buckle up. So this couple, like, everything was just dinosaur themed. Like, I was like, hey, was your 4th birthday party so bad? Like, you had to right the wrong at your wedding, So we asked the couple, we're like, so why the dinosaur theme, We're just chatting with them. And the dude just, dude, I just freaking love dinosaurs, dude. I just love dinosaurs. We're like, okay, are you into, like, archaeology? He's like, I'm just a dude, but I just love dinosaurs, dude, Like, okay, all right, okay. It was at that point I noticed the bride, her ring was shaped like a little brontosaurus wrapped around her finger. That was odd. I don't think she was in. I don't think she was committed to this. But I noticed too, like, they did everything, man. Like, their wedding cake had a little dinosaur bride and groom topper, which, if you think that's cute, you're wrong. That's weird. You think she looks like a stegosaurus? That's messed up. But they did kind of pull it off. It was kind of a nice ceremony. She walked down the aisle to a beautiful piano rendition of the Jurassic Park theme. That was neat. Bridezilla, she was actually one of the bridesmaids, so I'm like, that makes sense that they're friends. That's cool. Maybe it's his sister. I don't know. Believe it or not, they had Chris Pratt officiate the wedding. I said, believe it or not. Most of you went with not. You got me. All right. It was just an impersonator, but he was up there. Do you take this clever girl to be your lawfully wedded raptor? Now, some of you Jurassic Park nerds are like, Mckay, Chris Pratt did not say the clever girl line. And I know, there's an actor named Bob Peck. He couldn't do it because he got killed by a raptor. He's dead. I'm not stupid. Gosh. But anyway, it was fun. They did the ring ceremony. It was a little awkward because of the big heads and the little arms. Like, they couldn't quite. They figured it out, though. And then off they left, probably on their honeymoon, to visit all of America's Sinclair gas stations for the fossil fuels. That's all for me. I'm Mckay Kimball. Thank you, guys.